Hey y'all, I just wanted to come on real quick and encourage you. Listen, we need to be alert right now at all times with our ears keen to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying to the church right now. We need to be ready like the 5 wise virgins were ready with their oil. We need to be ready at all times. We need to be like desert babies ready to go when it's time to go, when God says go. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. You know, things that have happened recently in regard to computers crashing and things of that nature, this was not a joke. And the movie that came out prior to on Netflix, Leave the World Behind, was already telling us these are some things that are going to happen. And then it happened. In a small wave, but Leave the World Behind gave us an idea of what could happen if it had happened on a larger scale. We need to pay attention. We need to be ready at all times. Now, does that mean that God is not going to still fulfill the promises that he made you? No, it does not. Because God is not a man that he would lie. So his word still has to fulfill itself. Okay? So those of you that are waiting on God to fulfill promises in your life, I want to encourage you because it is going to still happen. Okay? But it doesn't mean that you are foolish and not ready and prepared for the things that are probably going to take place in our country that some of us, if you're honest, you're not ready for. But we had a little bit of a taste what could happen, so just be prepared is all I'm going to say. But in the meantime, that doesn't mean that God's not going to still do what he told you he's going to do. Doesn't mean that God is still not going to bless. Doesn't mean that God is still not going to come through for you, because he is. Because again, God is not a man that he would lie, nor would his word return void to him. Remember that, but also be prepared. I hope I'm making sense to y'all. Now, I love y'all. You know I love you. But just like I said in the message I posted yesterday in regard to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, yes, the fire has been hot, but God is still with us. Yes, the heat has been turned up so high that people surrounding us should be singed, burned, and all the things, and affected by the things that we're going through in our own life. Because we're in the fiery furnace, should be affecting others, but we're covered by God. I hope that if you don't know God, that you get to know him. Now will be a great time to start to get to know God. Get into your word. Gain wisdom. Gain all the knowledge you need. All the things. Start talking to God. And it doesn't have to be you laying on the floor. Doesn't have to be you on your knees. You can talk to God just like you talk to your friends. Because I talk to God like that a lot. God and I have some very interesting conversations. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But listen, if you don't know God, get to know him. Get prepared. Be ready. Not just to receive what God has for you and what's coming to you, but be ready and prepared for anything that could happen in a national emergency type situation. Okay? But doesn't mean that God's not going to bless. I want to remind you of that as well. Okay? Now, I love y'all. Y'all know I love you. Just wanted to share this with you real quick. Those of you that have an ear and have heard this before, it's not new news to you. But those who have not heard it, you heard it now. So let's get ready and be prepared. Let's not be without our oil, without our necessities and things that we need to get through whatever's going to come to us in a state of an emergency. All right. Now, I love y'all. You know I love you. Now, I never really say this, but, like, share my posts. If you see other posts that I put up on my TikTok page and you want to share it, go ahead and share it. Like it. Follow me. You know, I try to encourage as much as I can. But I'm also going to tell you what I know I heard the Lord tell me as well. So that's what it is. But anyway, I love y'all. You know I love you. Now you go out and you make it a great day on purpose, and don't you go messing up nobody else's day, but be prepared, get ready, okay? Have everything you need and stay in a state of an emergency, my friends. But just know that God's word won't return void to him, rather. So he's still going to fulfill his promises, okay? I love y'all. Y'all go make it a great day. Love you. Bye.